This pussy grabs back.
The Cary Harrison Files. CaryHarrison.com.
And it is the Cary Harrison Files. Cary Harrison with you. Super glad to be here. Compliment to Will at KPFK. I'm not going to say his last name for safety reasons, but he's the magnificent board op, and your audio today is excellent, Will. And like we're all on, I'm supplicating, as you can't see. If you're seeing the video, you still can't see. But just know my knee is bent. I am on a bended knee to you, my friend. And also to the great Renee Yawarski, incredible lawyer, incredible peacemaker for the world. And she does this because she loves it, just the way I do. We're here because we love doing this. We know it's necessary. All right. We're going to talk just a bit about, and we're going to jump to Sam in Long Beach in just a second. Sam, thank you so much for being patient. Just want to talk about the Emperor of Germany 80 years ago, leadership that we see today, so similar. And if we go back like 100 years, we're going to see the true template for the guy building the giant ballroom that happens to be 6 times bigger than the White House. And we're still in Germany, no surprise. World War II, Germany, World War I, Germany. But it was the last emperor who was almost interchangeable with what we're seeing today, Kaiser Wilhelm II. And he didn't accidentally stumble Europe into catastrophe. He strutted it there. Chest out, medals clanking, ego wobbling like a loose wheel on a royal carriage. This was a man who confused volume with authority, costumes with competence, and tantrums with leadership. Europe at the turn of the 20th century was already a tinderbox, filled with nationalism, alliances, arms races, the usual historical explosives. And what it needed to go up was a spark. What it got was Wilhelm, a human sparkler with a mustache and a navy fetish. Wilhelm didn't govern, he performed. He loved uniforms, the way insecure men love mirrors. Every speech was a dress rehearsal for greatness. Every foreign policy decision was theater, big gestures, loud declarations, and absolutely no follow-through in the way that matters. Diplomacy to him? Improv. And the rest of Europe was forced to sit in the front row while he forgot his lines. He talked too much, constantly. He talked to journalists, constantly, to ambassadors, constantly, to anybody within earshot. He'd announced Germany's intentions like a drunk at a wedding announcing secrets he'd barely understood himself. This is just before World War I. This is what led up to it. Allies were panicked, rivals were armed up. Wilhelm II, baffled, he took offense because nothing enraged him more than other countries reacting rationally to the things he said out loud. Oh, I think I'll say that again. Wilhelm II, the Emperor of Germany, leading up to World War I, nothing enraged him more than countries reacting rationally to the things he said out loud. Then there was the Navy. Oh, the Navy! Wilhelm wanted ships the way a bored child wants fireworks. Britain had a fleet, so naturally Germany needed a bigger one. Not for defense, not for strategy, but for status. This was geopolitics as a pissing contest. And Wilhelm insisted on drinking more water, and more water, and more water. And the result? Britain stopped seeing Germany as a continental power and started seeing it as a threat. An arms race followed. Trust evaporated. The temperature rose. Wilhelm called it prestige. Everyone else called it trouble. Inside Germany, he did what insecure leaders always do. He fired all the adults. Experienced diplomats? Gone. Cautious advisors? Poof, gone. And replaced. In their place, he elevated generals who flattered him. Men who spoke in timetables and inevitabilities and worst-case scenarios. Civilian control thinned. Military logic took over. Once the trains were scheduled, reason was no longer invited to the meeting. And then came 1914. And stand by, Sam from Long Beach. Thank you for being patient. Going to be with you in like 1.5 minutes. Then there was a gunshot in Sarajevo, a regional crisis, the kind Europe had handled before. And this was the moment for restraint. This was the moment for quiet pressure, for delayed decisions, for statesmanship. Wilhelm II, the Emperor of Germany, responded by throwing a blank check at Austria-Hungary like a man tipping wildly at a bar he couldn't afford.
How'd it happen?
She showed up dead on arrival.
This never gets easier.
It does when you call CarShield before your car breaks down. Look at these prices. The camshaft, transmission, engine.
Don't people know? A plan through CarShield could protect up to 5,000 parts and systems.
You hate to see it.
An out-of-warranty car is going to break down eventually.
Right, which is why they need a plan through CarShield.
Best of all, you'll get access to CarShield's concierge service, who can even help you find a mechanic near you.
They're notifying the family.
Poor guy. He doesn't even know what's coming.
Another victim of senselessly expensive repair bills. Can't save them all.
But we can keep trying. Didn't have to end this way. If he'd have just called CarShield before his car broke down.
Exactly.
CarShield has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and was voted America's most trusted auto protection company. It's time to call CarShield now. Call 800-786-8390. 800-786-8390. Call 800-786-8390.
I'm spluttering here for a second. I was just thinking the Biden budget was $7 trillion. The Trump budget is $10 trillion. And we were just told the other day they're going to increase it by another $1.5 trillion. So all this stuff about Doge and saving money, and we're in like $36 trillion of debt, and that's what it's all about. Well, shucks. Maybe not. No limits, no exit ramp. Leading up to World War I, it was pure emotion. It was offended honor. It was wounded pride from the emperor. Imperial solidarity cosplay. When things escalated, he panicked. He wavered. He tried too late to slow it down. But the machinery he empowered didn't pause for second thoughts. Mobilization rolled forward. Alliances snapped into place. Europe marched. Wilhelm had what he wanted for a moment, and he got a world war. 4 years later, millions were dead. Empires were gone. Wilhelm fled into exile, still convinced history had misunderstood him because he was a really stable genius, too. Of course, history had misunderstood him. History is terribly unfair to men who believe dressing like a general counts as governing. Europe didn't fall into catastrophe because fate demanded it. It fell because it handed an unstable system to a man who treated power like a costume rack and diplomacy like a stage cue. And once he pulled the lever, there was no intermission. Let's go to Sam in Long Beach. Patient Sam, you're on the Cary Harrison Files. Welcome.
Oh, Cary, love your angle. It's so refreshing to hear logic mixed with humor. I'm usually a Democracy Now! Guy, but I just recently got turned on to you. Love your work. Just wanted
Thank
to
you, my friend.
super quick, get into the AI in everything. Basically, that seems to be the trajectory. I won't even get into like the predictive technology and the mind reading software, the kind of Philip K. Dick mind crime stuff that's coming down the pike. But basically, my point is about how everything in tech inevitably gets smaller and smaller, and how I feel like we don't need to really worry about robot armies or robot dogs coming after us. Of course, that is a probability, but I feel like as things get smaller and smaller, now we're staring down the barrel at mosquito-sized drones and programmable bacteria and swarms of flying killer nanobots coming for us.
I'm only laughing out loud because you're right. It sounds so deranged, so fantastical that it simply cannot be true, but it is.
Oh, and I generally try to be positive and have hope for the future, and for the human ability to overcome adversity and organize and come together and overthrow the overseers and the military-industrial complex. But as things get smaller, it will become, I believe, like an economic. If capitalism continues to exist, it will become an economic necessity for the military overlords to, instead of using all the resources to make a bunch of robots and robot dogs, etc., but to make things smaller and more economical. So that's why I feel like it is inescapable, and it will be impossible for us to organize against the threat of the flying killer nanobots and the programmable bacteria, et cetera, to the point where I'm just worried that, with the programmable bacteria, and these are, I'm not throwing out some weird, sci-fi idea. These are actually things that you can, Google, you can read about, that are actually being developed as we speak. That we will be infected by these things. We will be hunted down, and if not actively attacked, then the threat of that, and the very real threat that that type of technology can be deployed at any time will keep us in our place. Don't get me started about choke collars and all of the I say kill collars, that everybody might need to wear. I mean, again, I try not to be this dystopian, fearmonger or whatever, but listening to you, I'm usually a Democracy Now! Kind of guy with Amy Goodman, but I just recently got turned on to your shtick, and you really are are really laying it out in this very articulate way about how, I hate to say the D word, how doomed we are. But if we don't organize now and get our ducks in a row and stand up to the fascists in power on both sides of the aisle, then we are in for a world of hurt. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thank you so much, Sam. Really well said. Not just because you gave me several compliments, which I really enjoyed, but because you laid out the fact that people need to understand with an open mind what's actually real. And once you know that, you can step around it. It's like one of those orange cones in the middle of the street over a pothole. If you don't see it, you drive over the pothole, bend your rim, flat tire. Do you sue the city? I don't know what you do, but it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars. You have to get it towed. Your whole day is gone, maybe 3 days, maybe whatever. Your whole life is upset for a long time because you didn't see the pothole. This is the orange cone. So you can go around the pothole. You can go under it if you want. You can go over it, but you know it's there. This is just pothole illumination, or PI. We'll consider this your PI moment. Let's go to Gabe in Venice. You're on the Cary Harrison Files. Welcome, Gabe.
Turn that off, yeah. Hi, how are you, Jerry? Good morning.
I'm good, my friend.
Jerry, I enjoy your show. Wanted to say that already the Israelis are illegally spying on us in dissent within the United States. They're already doing that. We have no regulation on any of that in the United States. If you want to see what the regulations are, go to the EU. They're trying to get it under control. And I just wanted to say that. And the reason that Trump wants Greenland is for the water. They're going to put these AI generator things up in Greenland. It's going to be heavily surrounded, and we're going to have it uplinked on Starlink on their own private channel to Washington D.C. So that's what's coming. And you're right, Cary, to point these things out. So I really thank you for trying to alert people. And yes, they are in the United States. We're being spied on constantly. So that's what's going on here.
Thank you, Gabe. Very much appreciate your call. And as I was saying earlier, how smart people are. I mean, I just get turned on. Maybe I'm sapiosexual. I don't know. But I like being around smart people. I feel safer. I feel safer when I'm around people who actually have their eyes open and their brains are functioning, they have critical thinking and they have imagination and they've read stuff and they're into the solution and they want to help me back, like I feel safer. And I'd like to think that most of humanity is that way, or we wouldn't have street lamps and traffic lights and, city parks and veterinarians. We just wouldn't if we were all super creepy. Most of us are not. The Lord of the Flies thing is true, but it's always one or two that ruins the 1,000 people that are there trading, cutting each other's hairs, making shoes, cooking, whatever they're doing, minding their own business. There's just two people that go, opportunity. And that's what this is. It's a giant grift. It is nothing more than a massive global extraction bank robbery. So if you think of it in those terms, it's way easier than all of this mystical stuff about safety and all this propaganda. Just think of it as, if it ain't nailed down, and even if it is, somebody's got a claw hammer and they're now pulling it up. And whoever's supposed to stop them, which would be, the rest of the government, doesn't seem to be doing that. So what are they getting out of it? They're not saying yes for nothing. What are they getting out of it? That's the other question to look into. Let's see, another thing coming up on YouTube. You can watch us live streaming right now. Simply Google Cary Harrison YouTube or Cary Harrison Substack. This is a comment coming up on YouTube. USA budget has been de facto unlimited since 1913, when the Fed began its perpetual money counterfeiting operations, nowadays multiplied with fake financial derivatives and fake digital dollars. And that comes from Kareem. Yes, it's true. And here we are with this new cryptocurrency that's going to be pegged to the dollar, that is looking to probably be birthed in the Middle East to move this way, since Venezuela unpegged its oil from the dollar, which is something that Henry Kissinger started back during the Nixon administration. So a lot of this is just to recapture, but make even greater profits. Quick personal note before we go to Hal in Santa Ana, California. My new glasses that are blue, if you're seeing the video, you'll see, I love them. I got them in Spain. Oh, I want to tell you the story about my lost passport, getting it back, and what I had to go through. When I came back in, I was suddenly an immigrant on an emergency passport, and the 50 questions, but we'll do that next week, okay? Let's go to Hal in Santa Ana, because he has been good enough to call in. Hal, you're on the Cary Harrison Show. Welcome.
Happy Friday, Cary. Hey, I think Mother Nature is going to do a big reset on us, man, because we just had a planetary alignment, and 3i Atlas did a perihelion around the sun, and we're having major solar storms, and we could have a Carrington-like event on January 18th when these storms are on the far side of the sun, and that side is going to be facing us on January 18th. So, it's going to wipe out all the electrical systems, all these microcircuits. And I just want to warn people, just get ready, have some food, water, cash, fill up your gas tank. And so they had to evacuate the space station. So that tells you how bad the storm could be. All right? Thank you.
And have a nice day. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. I don't know much about that. I get it. I get the physics of it, but I actually have not been following it. That would be 2 days from now. And I'm just cringing at the thought of that. So that's Sunday. Yeah, okay. So get some extra Pop-Tarts. This other stuff, at least I feel I can manage somewhat. The cones in the middle of the street. Let me just thank everyone so much for joining us today. We're at the end, at the finish line here. There's a bunch more calls. There's this, there's that. Please know, if I had more time, I absolutely would. But let me just thank and acknowledge the great Renee Yawarski. She is our technical director. She's also an extraordinary attorney who clerked for the Supreme Court and has done really amazing good work on behalf of humanity for many, many years. She does this because she wants to. Just the way I do this show, because I want to. And we're here volunteering now with the defunding of everything, with the collapse of everything. If we don't do it, it doesn't get done. And so I am lucky to be surrounded by some really high functioning, amazing people who have my back. I have theirs, just like you. You listening right now, you have my back and I have yours. So I'm totally looking forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget to get our newsletter at caryharrison.com, C-A-R-Y, harrison.com. There you're going to get the whole video copy of this, transcripts and other stuff. And I'm just thrilled to be able to spend time with you. Now it's time to say goodbye. You're going to be fine. Just remember, the orange cone is for you.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
Call 877-406-5860. That's 877-406-5860. Call 877-406-5860. That's 877-406-5860. Call us right now.